4-bedroom, 2-bath with no garage, but it's small. So it's a little bit less than 1,200 square feet. And so because we've kept the size of it small, we can keep the rents down a little bit. So I think we've got this currently listed for $1,550 a month for a 4.2, which is a pretty affordable rent range. So similar like we talked to with the duplexes, we've done the bigger duplex and the smaller duplex. The nice thing with the smaller duplex is they rent for a little bit less per month. And so those ones seem to lease up pretty well. I mean, just put lock boxes on this. We've been trying to like pre-list it, but we hadn't been doing self showings, but we're getting quite a bit of interest on these. And theoretically we could go $1,495 on it if we have to, but we built this same floor plan. So like literally the identical house, just bigger. The problem with those is we really got to get closer to $2,000 a month. So $1,995 to justify the increase in cost. And so I think given the two, especially like in some of these neighborhoods where people are going to be more it's going to be more cost prohibitive. I think building the smaller house and the cheaper rent is a better way to go. We'll see how quickly they rent up because we're going to have the identical house. We have the identical house but bigger listed right now for $1,995, and then this one's going to be smaller at $1,550. So I'll be curious to see which one rents out quicker. Again, the finishes are very similar. It's a great layout. They have 9-foot ceilings, so that it feels large, but again, it's tiny. This is less than 1,200 square feet for a 4.2. Well, that's pretty cool, Ben.
What's that, Chase?
It's like a lint catcher in the wall for the dryer. I've never seen that. That's kind of cool. We've had them where you run them, like you run up and you got to go left, and if it's got a couple corners, we had one recently where it got clogged and we had to like clean it out. And so theoretically, what the lint trap misses, that should catch and would prevent it from, causing an issue later. I think the master bedroom's a decent size. The 3 other bedrooms are smaller. It would be perfect for a kid's bedroom or an office, but it definitely, like, if it was adult roommates, some of the bedrooms might be pretty tight, but I think the master is still a pretty good size in this. I'd rather just do the cheaper, like, stainless steel vent hoods without the microwaves. My guess is because there's not a lot of counter space, so they wanted to add it for the tenant, but if that breaks versus the vent hood, it's going to be a little bit more expensive to replace down the road. Not necessarily a bad thing, but definitely more convenient having the air for the tenant.
So in most of your houses and apartments, Chase, do you not do a microwave at all?
Not usually, no. Yeah.
So if you had to choose microwave or ceiling fan,
I would rather choose the microwave over the stupid ceiling fans. This has ceiling fans, Ben. We're trying to get with what the demographic wants.
Well, that's a good size room, dude.
Plenty big enough. And so,
make it seem massive.
and again, if you're a renter and you really need the space, say you've got a couple children and you want an office, so you really want a 4-bedroom, but you're on a tight budget. It's like literally you could have this exact same house, but it's going to be a little bit bigger, but it's going to be $1,995 a month or more. I mean, I think sometimes we've tried to rent them for $20.95 or $21.95, or you're on a tight budget, you can have this one for $1,550. It's just a little bit smaller bedrooms or whatever. For me personally, I'd rather go with this. And again, this is almost competitive with an apartment. I mean, that's similar to what you're paying for like a two-bedroom or a 3-bedroom. Definitely a 3-bedroom, but even some of the 2-bedroom apartments are this expensive.
Chase, I assume there'll be a meter over the sink.
Yes, I'm sure. That's probably one of the final punch listy stuff right now.
Gotcha. It's like I see all the guys here, and they were talking like they come in and like clean before photos are done and that type of stuff.
Yeah. This was clean. It's just I think they missed like cleaning up the back porches or whatever. So there's the little miscellaneous stuff to finish up. I think historically people start as renters, right? So you rent and maybe some people like rent a room or have a roommate situation, then they rent their own apartment, and then after they rent their own apartment, maybe sometimes they would step up to renting a house or to buying a house. I think now less and less people are stepping into buying and they're just going to continue to rent. So I do see the progression more and more, or I think the progression's more and more going to change into people maybe have roommates, maybe they rent an apartment for a while. When they're ready to upgrade from an apartment to a house, they'll go to rent a house. opposed to buying. I think just less people are buying houses now, especially starter homes. Just having a conversation with a big management company, they were saying they hate having the HVACs in the attic, or the vents at least. And so like one idea would be, to eliminate the closet down here and put the HVAC in the closet, so that the tenants have easier access to change the filters and stuff. And so like that's something we may look at changing in these in the future. So it just depends. I think they evolve over time, and there's no right or wrong or perfect. It's just trying to figure out and improve it a little bit each time, I think.
So in here, when a tenant has to change the air filter,
they've got to have a step ladder to reach it. And so that's going to be harder because we require tenants to change their air filters. So it's going to be harder. They're going to have a little ladder to do that. So that's why having it, for example, we could have eliminated this closet here, would have been an easy one, and put the filter. So that's something we may want to look at when we build this house again.
Is that something that you would communicate to the tenant, like even though it's hard to reach, like you still have to change your air filters?
Yeah. Or we can we can get them linked up with a HVAC technician that can do it. But
I know just being here a little short amount of time I've been here, like tenants not changing their air filters is always a source of frustration.
Yeah, well, and it's also like I would say one of the biggest sources of the HVACs breaking down, especially when it's hot or in summer. If you have a dirty air filter, it'll cause it to freeze up. Puts more wear and tear on the HVAC system, and it's more likely to not work well if they don't get changed. So it's important that they get changed regularly. We actually replaced some of this chain link, it looks like. And so we did the one wood divider fence, the gates, on the sides. And so these all have their individual fenced in backyards, but most of that chain link was already there and in decent shape, so we just left it.
People to come view them prior to them being completely finished?
So normally, like right now, we've got the Show Mojo boxes on, so people can schedule showings whenever it's convenient for them. We listed these ones prior to them being finished, but we were only allowing in-person scheduled showings just because we had like miscellaneous light fixtures and appliances and stuff laying around loose. And so we were doing in-person showings prior to them being finished. Now that they're finished, we're doing self-showings. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave comments, and always we appreciate it if you get value out of this. If you can either give us a rating depending on where you're watching, or share it with somebody that you may think it find it valuable, and subscribe to the channel.